And now from here on out, every time you say, I'm gonna build a flatbed, I hope you choke like that.
There's a lot of building to be done. They'll see that. But anyways, you guys be the judge. See you in a minute. So Kagan's over there messing around. One, he's getting some brake clean. He's messing around with the new GoPro 5 he just picked up. He's gonna start filming some of his own stuff so you guys can see that too. I'll be in the background with some of it. But anyways,
yeah, he'll be heckling me like I heckle him.
it's about time. So, as you'll see here, I've got some bars sitting on the truck. I've kind of done some preemptive work measuring and cutting, and I haven't welded nothing yet. I'm just kind of setting stuff up, getting an idea. But I'm starting my budget flatbed build for this truck. I may have picked something up. Budget.
Build.
I gotta modify some stuff. Anyway, so for those of you who don't know, if you've looked around at flatbeds for sale, you can find some old ratty stuff on Facebook Marketplace for around $1,500.
Or cheaper.
That's ratty stuff though. That's stuff that's, you know, in rough shape. If you want something nice, which I would like to end up with something nice when it's all said and done, if you're gonna go buy a brand new CM flatbed, unskirted, nothing fancy, you're gonna spend $4,500. And could I go buy one? Probably. Am I cheap? Yes, I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna build one, as Kagan says. So I may have picked up some stuff over the weekend. I'm gonna show you guys what I picked up. I'm pretty tickled about it. And it's not gonna be your conventional flatbed. I think it's gonna look pretty awesome in the long run.
Yeah, hold on. Do we do anything the conventional way?
No, we don't do anything conventional way. And so along with this whole budget deal, it's gonna be a multi-part series, and I'm going to, excuse me, I'm gonna keep track of how much I spend throughout the whole deal.
He's getting choked up.
I'm getting choked up thinking about it.
Terminology. And now from here on out, every time you say, I'm gonna build a flatbed, I hope you choke like that.
There's a lot of building to be done. They'll see that. But anyways, you guys be the judge. So, yes, I've decided to go with a flatbed on the back of this. Obviously, after doing a dually, I'm not going to try and put dually fenders on the regular bed because, well, then it would look really goofy. I mean, it's going to look goofy anyways, but we're going with a flatbed. And I did have to start with some framework. This 4-inch channel I got from the farm. So, that didn't cost me anything. Some of this flat stock is stuff that I previously had right here that I've cut up from where we done stuff with the International. I did have to go buy that. You can't hardly see it because of me standing right there. Some 2-inch angle, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that later. So that's about 180 bucks. So I'm 180 bucks in so far, and I will step outside here and show you what I bought yesterday.
He's cheating.
I'm cheating? How am I cheating?
You said you're building a flatbed. You're cheating.
Well, I'm going to heavily modify one, so.
Yeah, see? Not build.
Technically, it's not a flatbed. All right, let me show you what I got.
Fair, that's fair.
So if you follow our Facebook group, and by group I don't mean our Facebook page, but the actual group where I will post stuff that I'm working on currently, and some of my friends post stuff, and we would like for you guys to post stuff. Matter of fact, if you have a YouTube channel that deals with wrenching around the garage, and I don't care what it's wrenching on, join our group and post your videos. I'm cool with that. But it is for original content, not memes. We don't do that. Post what you're doing, videos you're doing. Don't post other people's videos, and don't post memes. We're not that kind of group. So, I went and got that. Yes, that is a Holmes. I believe it's a Holmes anyways. I don't really know for sure, but I believe it's a Holmes wrecker bed. It used to have the mast and everything in it. There are tags up there that we're going to try and clean off later. I don't know if you can see them from there or not, but I'm going to try and figure out if it had a brand name on it at one point in time. But one thing about this wrecker bed is it is about 7.5 foot long, which is only about a foot to the bumper of not even a foot, about 6 inches because the regular factory bed was 6.5 foot long with a 6-inch bumper, so it makes 7 foot. This is 7.5 foot, so it's only going to stick out 6 inches more. If I do a 3-inch step, then yeah, a little bit more than that, but not too bad. I'm going to have to move the fender wells on it, which I plan on doing some other changes. I might have to straighten some damage, but it didn't have a framework underneath of it either. So that's what I'm doing right now, is building the framework. And so I'm pretty excited about it. I got it for $600. So $600 plus the $180 I spent on the angle iron and stuff I bought yesterday. We're what, $780 in now? Excuse me. So as I go along with this build, not only will I show you what I'm building, but we're going to keep a running tab of what I've purchased for the flatbed build, and that way at the end of it we'll have an idea of what we've spent. I'm going to try and do this build around $1,500, but yeah. Oh, and I have one more freebie I want to share with you. So for those of you who know me personally, you may know that I picked this up from my grandfather's a few months ago, and that is a roll bar, and I'm going to tie that in with the wrecker bed as I modify some other stuff, so I will have a roll bar on the back of it too. And we're gonna do some stuff with that angle because they're not actually level, and yeah, it irks me, so I'm gonna fix it. But yes, roll bar. So now I'm gonna get in there and get to work. So I have got C-channel just clamped to the outside of this right now, and clamped to this to hold it that way right there, and the same over here. This is 42.25 from outside to outside right here. And I've got me some 1/4-inch pieces made that already have holes pre-drilled in them. I'm gonna have to knock out some of this after I tack it on there, but yeah, you'll have that. Same over here. And then on the back side over here, I was thoroughly impressed because, man, it fits like a glove over the factory mount right here. And so I've got the bar sitting on that, and I'm just going to weld across through here on both sides. And then when I flip it, I'm going to, of course, I'm not going to weld anything right now. I'm tacking everything really well. Then I'm going to get it off of the truck before I do some welding. And then right here, digging around in scrap over here, and I found a couple of these. And they're pretty hefty, way heavier than I probably need to. But since they're scrap, I'm going to use them. I'm going to clamp them on there like so. And we'll drill holes in them. And then I'm going to cut the tops of them off after I tack them on there. But then I'll use one of those on each side, and I will utilize all of the factory mounting for the bed once that's done. And then probably something else I will do is you will notice there's holes here. And I'm gonna do drop downs off of this for a hitch, and I'll probably fish plate it with a piece that'll come over and hit these holes here and bolt to. And then I can also use the holes underneath that the original hitch mounted to. I want to make sure it's plenty strong for the hitch because, you know, I pull trailers and stuff with this truck. So we'll go about that way when we get there. And also, I don't have the gooseneck hitch back on it just yet, but I will. And when I do, I'm gonna cut up into this where the hitch goes, and then go ahead and weld this to my hitch and call it done. And then I'll also put my plating back on here too. That way it's...
We're gonna do some precision modifying to it, eh?
Yeah, precision modifying, exactly. So I will have the original gooseneck hitch on here, the whole frame mount and everything, which was rated for 30,000 pounds. Plus I'm gonna weld the main beams right into this right here. And this is gonna be all bolted to the truck everywhere. So I think it'll hold. What do you think?
We hope it'll hold.
So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do some burning, get some of this stuff tacked up real good, do some fabricating, and show you guys a few more steps along the way. So right now I've got everything tacked and welded down. Well, actually I've done some pretty decent welding. I didn't just do any tacking. I'd like to weld on the inside of this, but I'm not gonna do that right now. And I need to weld a piece of angle on the front of this, but I'm not going to right now because it's so close to the cab. I'll wait till I got it pulled off to weld it on the very end. But I'm gonna do these on 1 foot centers. And here I'm gonna try and deal with toolboxes, so I don't need a full length one. So I use one of the drops that came from the stick I bought. And I come back 1 foot, I got my line underneath there. I got me a piece propping it up to hold it the correct angle of what my bed is, which is the correct angle of what my frame is. keeping it all the same as I build. And I'm going to go down through here. These are my full length pieces here, 93 inches long. I'm going to go down through here, centering them on this frame off the ends, and go a foot. I'm going to skip one in the middle here because where my gooseneck hitch goes. Obviously I don't want one of these crossing across it, but I'm going to have a couple pieces of angle crossing anyways, just to box in my gooseneck. And so I'll use one of them to brace on out. It'll be off of the foot center mark, but it'll be fine. So that's my next step, is to go down through here. And like I said, I'm going to skip one here where the gooseneck hitch goes, but I'm going to get all these lined up, stood on their edge. Then I'll come back and make some gussets out of metal on the bench somewhere, and I'll weld back in here to hold these upright all the time like this. I know a lot of people will use channel like this for this part, but I already used 4-inch channel here instead of 3-inch, so I wanted to go to 2-inch, and I was able to get this relatively excuse me, I'm not going to say inexpensive, but I got it for a good deal. $180 for everything I picked up yesterday.
It's a budget build. Angle is cheaper than channel.
And it'll work just fine. So, I'm going to go ahead and set these on their end, and then I'll come back later and show you the gussets that I make for it. Alright, so, let me get out of the way here. You see I've got that one kind of, a little bit of booger weld in there. When I flip this up, I'll completely fill out. I burnt clear to the inside of that. I went and drilled that hole out bigger that was already in the bracket. Wasn't necessary, but the hole was already there. And so I core welded. Right here I ran down the sides, and I'm going to run across the back side on it. I don't think I'm going to nip that top off because it's not going to get in the way of anything. That'd just be unnecessary cutting. I'll weld across the back side and call that done. And then I'll weld the bottom of it when I take this thing off and flip it. I've got this piece welded on there. I went ahead and took a crescent wrench because it warped some when I welded it. So I took crescent wrench and I got on the bar on the edge of it here, like so, right where the weld was, and kind of pried it a little bit there and on the other side. And I went and checked it to my measurement there. I set it on there and checked it to my measurement, and we're good. So on this one, put that over there. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, because this is day one of the of letting you guys know everything that's going on. And what I will do is off camera between now and the next time, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these on, and I'll go ahead and make some gussets for this right here to kind of keep them from rolling on this right here. And then once I get the sheet metal on top of them, it won't go anywhere. But I'll get that done. We'll talk about tying the back end together on what will be the bed on the next video, and we'll go from there. So the second video basically be about test fitting the bed on here, I'm pretty sure, even though I know we're gonna have to cut some stuff and it's going to get ugly, but that'll be it. So guys, if you're interested in seeing how this turns out, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because there'll be more of this coming, and then you'll get to see this truck finished up, because we're going to sand this down and paint it and have it ready to go. And it'll be a diesel 2500 short bed dually with a wrecker bed. So guys, see you later.